All right, welcome everyone to our weekly Essential Island Living team call. I am really excited about our team call tonight. The Vielas have prepared an amazing product education for you guys. And then at around 8:10, 8:15, Malia Ka'aihue, a doTERRA founder and new diamond, will be joining us tonight to share her mana'o of her journey in this business. So I'm super excited to introduce you guys to her and have her share with us her journey. So let's go ahead and get started. Grab an oil that is speaking to you. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. With all the craziness and madness that is going on in this world, I'm sending you all so much love tonight. If you feel inclined, I truly believe that we are all doing the best that we can. So if you feel like repeating that after me, feel free, or with me. I am doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. All right. Before I turn it over to Maile and Jai, I am going to just share a little bit about what's on my heart. I'm not going to go on for a long time. I just want to say that I really hope that as a community, we can continue to be a place of inclusivity, of love, of sharing hope and healing through our oils, but also through our community and our connections. I think what the world needs more than ever is empathy. You know, whatever we feel, whatever we believe, whatever we're fighting for or against or whatever, I just truly believe that empathy is what is going to get us through. And I'm so grateful for you all. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jai and Maile to go ahead and share with us product education.
Okay, hi everybody. I just wanted to say that give you guys a little bit of background. Jai is like the guy with he knows more than me about the oils, but I'm just, supporting him and learning along the way. But a few years ago, Jai had actually asked us to buy for a Christmas present. He wanted a diffuser and some oils. And I think at the time he was like 5th or 6th grade. And I was like, what kid wants this? But that's where our journey started, with Jai asking for a diffuser and some oils. And eventually he would introduce us to like an oil, like, Mom, here for your headache, use this. And I mean, it would work. And so we'd constantly, like, he would hand us things to try. And over the years, we just started building our oil collection, not thinking one day I'll be talking to you guys about product education here and actually sharing about oils. But anyway, funny story is last summer, Jai had to get his wisdom teeth pulled out. And I think it was at that point that I was always sold on it. Like, I really believed in the oils. But I think at this point, this is where I really believed in the oils, because he is cannot handle pain, and he is a drama king. That's what I call him. He's the drama king in our house. And so I really thought, guarantee he's going to use all the painkillers. He's going to definitely need a lot of stuff to keep him like keep him content and, you know, and okay during the process. And this boy did not use not one pain pill. He actually did take some doTERRA. I don't know what he took beforehand, but I know during when he first came home, he just started popping in Copaiba, whatever like Auntie Kanani and Auntie Liza told him to do, he did. He was rolling on frankincense on his jaw like a lot every time he would wake up or move around. And he was doing all things with oils, didn't take any pain medication. And actually the next day he was like up and about and fine. And so I think at that point I really was like, okay, you know what, this is worth sharing. And so we're going to actually talk about, Jai's going to be talking about like all things with the mouth, like oral. But I want to show you this funny video because I think this is like, this boy is like, what do you call? He's like so into oils and doTERRA and Auntie Liza that listen to him during when he's coming out from his anesthesia. Go, Jai.
Okay, this was not my idea, so.
This is my idea.
Not my idea.
He's like, oh my gosh, Mom, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, listen.
Yeah. Good girl, you get a sticker for today.
What kind of sticker?
A smelly one. It will smell like rose. Hey, Mom, we should go some doTERRA to our doctor. Okay, you get the Eliza.
Son, okay, try open your eyes and see.
So he's over there like talking to me and like, call the nurses, go talk to the doctors, sell doTERRA. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what kid is like thinking about doTERRA in the middle of his, after his wisdom is getting pulled. So Jai is gonna talk about, like the discomfort, his wisdom being pulled, what he used, and then also talking about the toothpaste that we use and also the mouthwash. Go ahead, Jai. Take it away.
Okay, so after I got my wisdom removed, I used those 2 oils. I just rubbed it on my jawline, frankincense, and then took copaiba internally. But you could also just like put it in there. It's kind of disgusting, but do what works. If you need additional support, you could do turmeric, copaiba, and deep blue. Those are all really good for pain and inflammation. I didn't have those, so I just had to go with copaiba, but I know people who have used that for their wisdom and it helped them. So, did you know that frankincense, hold on, there we go. Frankincense has antiseptic properties, which means it makes it great for killing germs in your mouth and also reducing inflammation, which is really, when you have a big surgery in your mouth, you have lots of inflammation, hence my big fat face. And also copaiba is really helpful. The Brazilian Dental Journal published a study and said copaiba was found to stop bacterial growth, especially that one right there, I can't say that, which is known to cause tooth decay and cavities. Oh, what is going on? That means that it can stop the reproduction of that harmful bacteria, hence preventing cavities and tooth decay. So you might want to give it to your kids if they have cavities. That would have been really helpful like 3 years ago. Sorry, made you pay for my cavities. Okay, let's talk doTERRA oral care. I was watching a video in the doTERRA Empowered Life series, and they said that the mouth is the beginning of your digestive system, so it's very important to keep your mouth clean and healthy. Your digestive system keeps your whole body healthy. It's connected to your gut, blah, 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 blah. So make sure you keep your mouth really healthy. Okay, we're speeding this up. Malia's here. The toothpaste is non-toxic, whitening, and fluoride-free. It's infused with essential oils, cloves, peppermint, spearmint, cinnamon, all great for oral care, and it remineralizes and restores your teeth enamel. You want to make sure we're using a good quality toothpaste without toxins, because again, the mouth is the beginning of your digestive system. We don't want to be putting all these toxins into our body, which then creates a bad immune system and just Then the mouthwash, it's natural, alcohol-free. One ingredient in there, miswak extract, helps maintain clean teeth by reducing excessive plaque, and it helps strengthen your teeth and brighten your smile. I have to say this mouthwash is pretty hot. I shed a tear or two every single time I use it, but it is very, very great. Okay, almost done. And then
wait. I wanted to say, like, I didn't think our family would like the switch over from, you know, our regular toothpaste. Like, we were using Colgate and switching over. I thought we wouldn't like it, but our whole family made the switch, and my husband likes it too. So that's a good thing. And I swear it makes our mouth smell better and stay like that all day. Whereas Colgate, what I used to use or whatever, it wasn't like I didn't have that same thing. And John too, he loves the mouthwash, and he never used to use mouthwash, but he loves it. So yeah, just a thought. Okay, Jai, go.
And then if you have teething babies, I found this really interesting, lavender and Siberian fir on the jawline for their teething discomfort. Yeah, I got all of this information from this video right here. If you scan it with your phone, it takes you to a doTERRA Life, Empowered Life series, and they talk about teeth care, oral care, and they go deep into like oil pulling and your gums and your, yeah, disgusting things. Okay, we're done now. Thank you.
You know what is so funny too? John was a health teacher, and he said that he would tell his students that like in our toothpaste, there's lots of chemicals, but he still used the regular toothpaste, not the natural one. And then when this came out, he's like, oh yeah, we should be using a natural toothpaste. So interesting enough, like a health teacher still, you know, I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, you didn't tell me that. So I'm always learning a lot, you know, from Jai. Like he knows, he has the time to research. That's why. Thanks, you guys. I hope you guys learned something.
Thanks, Maile and Jai. That was so awesome. And I want to go back into the comments just a little bit. First of all, I will be posting this recording in our Essential Island Living Team page so that you can all go back and watch that video of Jai getting his wisdoms pulled out, because I know how happy that made so many of us. But I just want to talk a little bit about what Maile and Jai shared about in terms of the products and how powerful they are, and the reminders that our digestive system begins in our mouth. And so having really strong oral care is so important. A lot of people talked about how much they love the mouthwash, and I've never been a mouthwash person, but if you guys checked out that prevention protocol that I posted, one of the big things they mentioned was using a daily mouthwash and a daily rinse. So definitely try to start incorporating that into your routine as much as possible. Jai's protocol for pain relief after getting his wisdoms and not having to use any painkillers, again, was Copaiba Deep Blue, recommended was Copaiba Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex and turmeric dual chamber soft gels. And I definitely, those are my go-tos for any head tension that I get. Typically the severity of the head tension dictates what I take, but I'll typically take a deep blue polyphenol and a Copaiba soft gel. And then if I have a really intense headache, I will add a turmeric dual chamber soft gel to that too, and maybe even an extra Copaiba. yes, I love Miley's story about the whole family switching over. I love to put peppermint right on top of my toothpaste. You guys know that. Ray says clove and wild orange. Janice says wild orange. Naomi said it really helps with sensitive teeth. Yeah, so mahalo to the Viela family and Jai and Miley for popping up with such a great product ed. And of course, Jai being a true millennial with his QR code at the end. So thank you. All right, you guys. Yes, spearmint's a good one too, Janice. And to clean your toothbrushes too, soak them in a drop of On Guard or even the On Guard mouthwash every so often. I tend to just dump my toothbrushes pretty frequently, but you know, if you have the ones with expensive like heads or whatever, you can just clean your toothbrushes that way. All right, you guys, I am so super excited to welcome our guest speaker tonight. Malia and I have actually known each other for quite a while. She's a 97 grad from Kamehameha and I am 96. And so we've known each other and we share some very close friends as well. But I want to talk a little bit about how freaking amazing she is, because I know sometimes the things that hold us back in the business are that we're too busy, that we don't have the time, all of these, you know, stories that we create. So Malia is a highly recognized entrepreneur. This world is not new to her. This business world is not new to her. She's an award-winning author who is extremely involved with the Hawaiian culture and Hawaii's community, which is something that I really admire about her. If you guys have heard me before, I am not a very good Hawaiian. So people like Malia constantly inspire me to just, you know, get better as much as I possibly can and connect with my culture. She's founded 8 successful businesses. She attended UH Manoa, where she received a bachelor's degree in Hawaiian studies and language, as well as her master's and her doctoral degree in poli-sci. The litany of awards that she has received would take me about 10 minutes to read. But as far as doTERRA accomplishments, Malia joined doTERRA on March 15th of 2020, right? The day that the Founders Opportunity became available. And in January, she was announced as the first, I think it was the 5th or 6th founder. Yeah. And the 5th founder, US Founder 2.0, the first founder from Hawaii. She now has 2 of her qualifiers that just got announced as the new founders as well. So just figure that out for you, as well as a fresh diamond. Incredible. I mean, honestly, I think I messaged her and I was like, I don't know what you're doing, sister, but it's amazing. So she's here tonight to just share with us her journey and obviously we would love to know any and all of the mana'o that she has to share with us. So Malia, thanks so much for being here and taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. Aloha kako, everyone. I hope everybody's having an awesome evening. That was fun jumping on the last half of the product sharing. That was great. So Eliza asked me to talk a little bit about Founder, but what I'm really curious about is, you know, what do you guys want to know about Founder? So think about that and drop it in the chat because I want to make sure that I'm here for you. I'm in service of you, and this is your time, and I really want to make sure that you get as much value as you can out of it. But for everybody on the call, how many of you are going for Founder? Can you just drop a number 2 in the chat? Awesome. Drop a 2 in the chat. Let's see. I know there's more than 2 of you. What? Okay, I'm shocked. 3. Awesome. Okay. So really why I joined doTERRA was for the founder opportunity. I had been a product user for 5 years. My son has really bad asthma and my mom had turned me on to Breathe. And it was a game changer in our lives and in his treatment of his asthma. And so when COVID hit in March, women were losing their jobs all over the place. And I'm a person that I love to solve problems. I'm a critical thinker. So I was like, wow, all these people are leaving the workforce, including my daughter. She lost her job at Hula Grill. And I was like, well, what opportunities do they have to reinvest in their wealth and in their financial sustainability? And so for my daughter, I thought I'd reach out to Maile and see what was going on. I had followed her career for a while in essential oils. So I reached out to her in my upline and I said, I think I'm interested in investing in my daughter doing this business, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it turns out my daughter wanted nothing to do with it. and so that was kind of that. And then that was in March. And then in May, the Founder 2.0 opportunity got launched. And Maile sent me a thing, some information on it and said, I think this is right up your alley. And I said, oh, okay, I'll check it out. Anyway, being the academic that I am, I read everything that was published on it, broke it down. I did a lot of research on doTERRA, the company, because that's how I understand health of a company, is to understand their financials and their numbers. And so I looked at how many years they were a company, how much debt they had, how many of the first founders were still involved in the company, things like that. And I was like, wow, it's a really healthy company. The company's thriving. Right? doTERRA has actually broken every MLM business record that there is out there. They reached $1 billion before Apple did, right? Just like these bizarre things that are like, oh, who knew? And so I jumped in all in on the founder opportunity. My original plan was to hit founder in 4 months. It took me a little bit longer because of life. But really, has been a super big game changer in my financial future. I don't have to tell you guys about Founder. I know you guys understand what it is, right? So, but I do want to impress upon you the importance of the opportunity that's in front of you. $1 billion companies do not ask us peons out here that are product users to partner with them in their founding organization. Normally to be a founder, you have to be at the starting blocks with them, mortgaging your house, putting in a buy-in, putting up leverage to be in that space, right? Sweat equity for years and years and years, right? So this once in a lifetime opportunity will never happen again in your lifetime. I can promise you that. And then on top of it, to take the fact that doTERRA is such a healthy, thriving company, and they're still looking to expand their leadership, to diversify their leadership, is just phenomenal. So if you didn't put a 2 in the chat, I want you to spend some time praying on it or reflecting on it. But this opportunity is for us. And I would surmise that we here in Hawaii have actually a much better shot at Founder because we are culturally conscious people. And I'm not sure what that means to everybody, but out of the 11 founders, 3 are from Hawaii. 1 more has a tie to Hawaii. And I know there's going to be a couple more from Hawaii in the next couple months. So if you look at the market share that we have of founder positions right now, it's phenomenal. And that's because we live here. Hawaii has 10 climatic regions out of the 15. Hawaii has the most endangered species in the world. We live in the most diverse place, which makes us adaptive. We get to learn our aina and our islands, and we become adaptive and we're flexible, and we can make magic happen that way. So I have this strong feeling that we are uniquely positioned. And actually 2 of the other founders are Amish. So again, a cultural tie. So I have a feeling that we are uniquely positioned in the place that we are, and that we get lucky enough to call home to achieve founder spots. Again, that's my soapbox. We need more Hawaii founders. And hold on.
Actually,
Sorry.
I want to use this opportunity to say in my bio reading, I texted this part, but I didn't say it when I introduced you. It's 10 kids, right? You have 10 children, correct?
Yeah, 8.
Okay. Okay.
We're foster parents too, so it fluctuates.
Okay, I thought that there was. So just wanting to put that out there, that talk about adaptability and getting shiz done. Yeah, 8, 10 kids,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's crazy over here. Chaos as always, but that's okay. That made me better positioned to get a founder spot. So founder is, you're going to basically secure a legacy. And that's what it was for me. A legacy, a retirement fund. As an entrepreneur, retirement funds don't come with the job. I have to create my own retirement funds. And I saw an opportunity to have $80,000 to $100,000 for the rest of my life. And to me I asked myself, how much would you invest in this opportunity to have $80,000 to $100,000 for the rest of your life? And really it was priceless. Like there was no amount of money, no amount of time, no amount of resources that I had that I would not invest in going for this. And I really want you to break that down over your lifetime. If you plan to be around for the next 20 years, what does that mean for you? And what does that mean in terms of your financial sovereignty and financial freedom? So the opportunity is by far the most incredible thing that's happened to me. Now, it's not easy, right? You guys are all building your businesses, right? And doTERRA teaches us that we're looking for committed and capable people, right? The 2 C's. But I would challenge you to look for commitment and action in your people. And the only way that you're going to find commitment and action in your people is if you're showing up with commitment and action every single day. That's the only way. You attract into your life like-minded people. And I have this one builder who was going for founder. Actually, she is a founder now, but she was going for founder for 4 months before she was really going for founder. And one of the things I needed to change was her mindset, right? Because she was confusing the universe. It was like, I'm going for founder, but I can only work 4 hours today. I'm going for founder, but I can't find any people to call. I'm going for founder, but I can't enroll anybody. When you make a decision that you're going for something, all those other things, those excuses, those what you think are realities, go away. Because you have clearly told the universe what's happening. The universe is going to get on board with you, and you're going to close founder faster than you thought. And her mindset shift, she literally closed founder in 3 months after that, after shifting her mindset around that. And, we live in Hawaii, so I know that comes with some baggage too. We have some issues around money. Most of us grew up poor. And so even making money is something sometimes that's uncomfortable. But this is the urgency for me. The urgency is that the median home price in Hawaii is over $1 million. Your children, my children, and my grandchildren will not be able to afford to live here. And that always overwhelms me when I say it. It makes me super sad because I want my kids to have what I had. I want my grandkids to have that access. So we need to wake up and we need to start taking agency into our financial future, into our financial sustainability, into our financial sovereignty, to make sure that we're leaving a legacy that allows our children to thrive here in Hawaii. That is their right to be able to live and thrive here, but that is not their reality. However, we can make it their reality. We have that opportunity to do that, to make it their reality. And so that's why I'm super passionate about founder. My new vision is to have 25 founders on my team. I don't know if we'll hit it, but we're going for it. We're all in. And I've actually stopped doing regular education classes. I'm only teaching classes on founder because I strongly believe that this is a game-changing opportunity for people in Hawaii. This is a game-changing opportunity. So until, a year when all the founder spots are taken and we'll reshift around what our focus is on, we're solely focused on the founder opportunity. So let me break it down to you how I thought about it. Okay, if I can be a founder, that's amazing, $80,000 to $100,000 a year. If I have 6 qualifying founders, right, that would be amazing because then I would be a presidential diamond for the rest of my life. Right? Do you guys see that, how that works? So simple, right? So basically, it's not enough for you to say that you want founder. I'm going to tell you that. It's not enough. You want to make founders. That's where the magic is. You want to make founders. You want people that are running this journey with you, alongside you, in front of you, behind you, picking you up, lifting you up, carrying you. You want a team of people running for founder. So if you haven't secured or figured out your founder pitch yet, get super solid on it. What are your 3 talking points that are going to get every person that you know to go, wow, tell me more about that? What is your pitch? What is your 30-second pitch on founder? You know, write it, text it to Liza, have her read it, send you feedback, and then get going, right? I mean, this is a sense of urgency where you should put every single resource you have on the table. Let me tell you what I did during my founder journey. I called Supreme Court judges that I met through a friend of a friend of a friend. I called police commissioner. I called everybody and anybody to make that magic happen. But what happens is when you start doing that, when you start bringing down your own walls, when you start being uncomfortable, things start opening up for you. I have a qualifier who's now a founder who walked, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Nanakuli Valley, but she walked door to door the entire homestead, Nanakuli homestead, sampling every single ohana. And that's her mission, is changing ohana, or changing lives one ohana at a time. You know, and when you talk about that, it sounds bizarre. We're like, whoa, I can't even imagine walking my street. But imagine making a commitment that you want it so bad, you're going to walk to the 10,000 homes and sample every single person in that community. And she had found her in 4 months. But it was because nothing could stop her. There was nothing that was going to stop her. She was going to find it, do it, figure it out, right? And that's the yes I'm saying. So for those of you that are going for founder, make the commitment, be all in. It's not for the rest of your life. This is literally for the next 6 to 8 months. What would you do in 6 to 8 months to change the rest of your life? Anyway, I have tons more I could share, but I really want to hear from you guys, what questions you might have, or Liza, maybe you, what are some important things for your team?
I feel like we're like, I personally want you to keep going. I mean, I'm about 30 points away, and I feel, but you know what, honestly, I don't feel like our community feels like this opportunity is really for them. And a lot of that, like in reflection, maybe has fallen on myself. I'm not big on competition. I sort of allow people to show, obviously we can't force anyone to like allow people to show up. But I feel like everything that you're sharing right now is what we really need to hear. I mean, sort of the background behind the opportunity, the why, and then I think a lot of people would ask though the how. So you gave one example of or 2 examples, how you called everybody. And you didn't have any qualms about putting the opportunity out for any single person. And I've heard you speak on that before. And then is that Lavena that walked the neighborhoods and made that happen? And I think a lot of what holds people back is like, yes, I want it, but how could I possibly, I've been stuck at this rank, or I've only ever achieved this rank. How could I possibly, get to that next step? So
so I would say you definitely need to have a plan, right? I'm huge on planning and strategy, because you don't want to waste any resource. Every dollar coming into your organization, you want that to be contributing to your founder journey. The second thing that I would say is stop focusing on ranks and think bigger. You're bigger than the ranks. If you have to have something to focus on, product volume. Like, what is your product volume goal? Like, we, at the end of the day, are salespeople. Some people think that's, I don't know, they feel uncomfortable saying that, but that's what we do. And we do it through education. We're educating all the time, and that's awesome. And we have a phenomenal product that sells itself. But at the end of the day, we are salespeople. So like if you were to go into a grocery, any store, a Target, right? Target has a sales goal every single day. Like they have a number that they're trying to achieve by the end of the day, a number that they're trying to achieve by the end of the week, a number that they're trying to achieve by the end of the month. So you, as the business owner, if you're going for a platinum, right, 27,000 in product volume, you're going to break that $27,000, and that comes out to almost $1,000 a day, right? That's the product volume that you need to hit in order to hit platinum. Okay, so then you start off the month with 20 LRPs that are set. So that number is fixed. You know what that is. And then you know what your delta is, what you're missing. And then you go out and get it day after day. If you don't do it one day, then you know that you're going to have to double down the next day. That's a sense of urgency that you need. So know your numbers, I would say, for tactical advice. I would say audit yourself, time, treasure, and talent. How much time do you have to commit to this? How much money do you have to commit to this? Because there is an opportunity to invest money, right? You can incentivize. My team is highly incentivized to get their founder points through all kinds of stuff, AirPod Pros, Aloha Modern stuff, product, whatever it might be, right? Cash as well, right? So how much treasure do you have to invest, and what are your talents? Right? What are your specific talents that you have that you bring to the table? So I know we have the gummies on here. I saw that earlier, right? You make amazing gummies, right? That would be for me something to leverage. I'd be like, okay, we have this. How do I leverage it in order to maximize the output? Some of your teachers. So education is something that you're talented at. How do you leverage education on Founder? Is it by having classes? You have to figure that out. But everybody has a talent and multiple talents. So it's really leveraging your time, treasure, and talent. So if you audit your time, treasure, and talent, and you're not currently meeting your rank goal or your founder goal, then you know you have to double down. You got to find it from somewhere. So maybe that takes 20 hours up to 30 hours a week. Maybe it's, I have $500 a month to invest. I'm going to invest $2,000 a month. Whatever it might be, there has to be that increase in output. I'll tell you though, most people get analysis paralysis, like they get paralyzed by thinking of all the things they have to do. This is a business about action. It's a business about building and rebuilding over and over again. And you have to do it through your actions, because 0 actions means $0, means 0 founder points, 0 Jamaica points. Oh my God, Jamaica, you guys. If you get founder, you're freaking going to Jamaica too. When I did my founder journey, it was Cancun, and the points were different. And I didn't go to Cancun. I made a strategic decision that I was going to do nothing for Cancun and just focus on founder. But now every single founder point you get a Jamaica point as well. So I know Liza and I are going. We'd love to have a huge community going with us. Right now, my team, Kanani's going, awesome. My team is in 1st, 2nd, and 6th for Jamaica. And that's not because they're trying to get the Jamaica trip. That's because they're sprinting for founder, right? So there's just so many opportunities. Tactical, what other? I'm trying to think of all the tactical advice. Everybody on my team has a master plan, a founder's master plan. That's what we check in on every week. We fight for every founder point. It's 1,000 points. We fight for every point. My team is small. You guys have a huge team compared to my team. No?
Be surprised. Our team is, I mean, I would imagine your team is a relatively small diamond team, but our diamond team compared to others is also
small.
Pretty small. I mean, our blue diamond team, when we hit diamond, we were maybe about like 1,200.
Yeah, that's double me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say we're small but mighty.
Yes, for sure. I want to clarify a couple of things, because I feel like as the leader of, of one of the leaders of this community, and as you are for yours, I heard a couple really key things. And I think it's the investment back in the business and being willing to spend money. And I remember when we were together at Nashville Diamond Retreat, and you came to my room with all of your goodies for me, which was so sweet. And you're like, yeah, that's my founders. I think your 3.0 plan. And I was like, wait, there's a founders 3.0? Like, I was so confused. And you're like, yes, I'm going to help other people get there. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Okay. I get it. But the first thing you said to me was, every dollar I've made and more, I've invested back into my business. And I think that's a very big mind shift. I don't even know if there's a question in there, but just sort of a statement or realization that for many of us that do not come from entrepreneurial backgrounds, like I thought I was going to teach for 30 years and Paul retire, is a very different mindset of spending money. because people that have built businesses are entrepreneurs by nature know that every business requires a lot of capital typically. And doTERRA is very different in the sense that really you don't have to have that capital to start the business. But for you, this journey has really, you know, included that in that investment back into the business, and not looking at the paycheck that you make as I don't know how you want to explain it, but
I have actually a couple of things to say on this. So
okay.
Thanks for asking me this question. So every company I've ever started, I started off with $100,000 investment. Not all my own capital. If I didn't have the capital, I went out and found it. I found partners. But every single business I started off with $100,000 investment upfront. Now, on the best companies, you earn that back in like a phenomenal return would be like 5 years, you know, to earn that first investment back. And that doesn't include the sweat equity and all the other things that you're putting on the table to start a company, right? So doTERRA is different in that there's so little to get in the game, right? And that also impacts the quality of business partners that we attract, because there's so little skin in the game, right? To get in the game, that anybody can get in, and then they can get, you know, they can be like, well, it's $150, who cares, you know? But so one thing I do is I have leadership agreements, and I'm not sure if you guys have those, but on my leadership agreements, everybody has to have a $200 LRP. So I just double what doTERRA is asking, because this is how I feel. For $200, you get an entire back end of your business without having to do anything. You get more products, and I know you have skin in the game every single month, right? So when you're bringing people into your organization, think about the relationship that you want to set up with them ahead of time and make that a part of your conversation. The thing about money that, you know, we talked about earlier is that they don't even have this kit anymore, because I think I sold them all. But doTERRA used to have the every oil kit. It was like $2 grand. I don't know, it was around $2 grand, right? And every month my goal was to sell 2 of those kits. I was going to sell 2 every oil kits. I didn't make my goal. I didn't sell 2 every month. But to me, it was the process of pitching that and then coming back. Because I was willing to pitch that, I sold, the most kits I sell is natural solutions, right? Because I'm starting off there and people are like, holy shit. Where I had builders on my team that would only do the simple solutions kit. That was Leonani. She's like, I feel bad. I'm like, you feel bad. I'm like, I would feel crappy if I was on the other end of that call and you were judging how much I wanted to invest in my future. Like, don't judge people. They'll tell you what's good for them, what makes sense for them. But don't just automatically assume that everybody wants to come in at the simple solutions kit. That's ridiculous. You can, of course, you know, organize your marketplace into different levels, but never assume what people want to invest in their health. And I think now more than ever. But one thing that I learned, I went to a retreat this last weekend in Vegas, and I learned one gem. I kind of understood it, but the way in which he explained it was crazy. He said there's 2 types of people in this world, entrepreneurs and employees. There's 2 types of people in this world, entrepreneurs and employees. And we are trained from birth to be employees, right? We follow directions, we do good, we get rewarded. We don't, we get punished. We go to school, we achieve, you know, we listen, we do good. We go to college, same thing. Basically, we're trained our whole lives to be employees. Get assignments, complete assignments, get rewarded. And this is one of the biggest gaps, I think, in our company when I look at my builders and my organization, is that everybody wants me to assign them a task. Like, just give me an assignment and then I can do the assignment and then you can clear. But you don't have the capacity to do that for every single person, right? So the best partner is an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur is somebody that has a different relationship with money. Most likely they've had to hunt to eat, right? They have to go out there and find the money in order to provide the product or service in order to have an income. So they're a little bit more, they have a little more hustle in their game by nature. Like I always say, an ex-drug dealer would be the best person for this business. I've been like trying to find someone that's like born again and wants to do it on the real. And because the hustle, right, is there, the mindset is there. But in all seriousness, though, most of us are employees, myself included, right? I didn't go to business school. I was an employee for many years. So what we have to do is retrain ourselves to be entrepreneurs and have an entrepreneurial mindset. And you can just Google that, entrepreneurial mindset. And then what we have to do with our partners and our builders is we have to help get them there. And you do that by giving them assignments and tasks and letting them complete them. When they don't complete them, oftentimes we think, oh, they're not into it. I don't want to pressure them. You know, maybe they change their mind. We assign all kinds of things to it. But the truth of the matter is that they just haven't found the courage yet to do it. They want to complete the task. That's why they reached out to you. But they haven't found the courage to overcome whatever it might be. And it might be a pyramid of things that's standing between them and actually doing that task. So then you bring the task way down. Like you just make it the smallest building block you can think of, right? Go and watch this YouTube video on the compensation plan. And then they go and watch the YouTube video and let me know when you're done. They go and do that. And then the next thing is like, okay, look at your compensation in your back office. What does that say, right? And then you build it up. And as they start to accomplish things, they start turning into an entrepreneur. And then pretty soon they're giving themselves assignments and so on and so forth. So anyway, entrepreneurs and employees, I think is something that as soon as we all figure out how to create entrepreneurs on our team, that our businesses are gonna take off. I don't know if I answered your question, but
no, you totally, we have had this call for a couple of years. I have to say, this is probably one of my personal, I think you are one of the top guest speakers we have ever had. And I think as a leader, it's always nice and refreshing to bring somebody else in that's doing the same work and leading. There was a couple of questions in the chat. Like, what is your pitch for founders? And yes, the how. But before we get to those, I want to talk about this master plan, because one thing that I really struggle with is when people are like, what's founders about, or what is this opportunity? Like, the information has been put out there, it's been shared on team calls in the group or whatever. When people, like, what do you expect of people to bring to you before you help them craft this master plan, which FYI I want to talk about with you later? But what are your expectations that people bring to the table? Because I often feel like there's a lot of just tell me, give me all the information, tell me, versus that proactive approach to go finding the information and then coming back and saying, I want to do this and this is what I'm thinking. Like, what's that balance look like?
Yeah. I mean, it's changing all the time for me. I have to say, I just announced that I'll be doing interviews for the next 5 founders that I'm going, and honestly, like, I don't really even care who they are, but I'm just shifting the perspective, right? Like, you know, people can think that they can just come buy their $150 kit and have access to the kingdom. And I'm like, actually, no, I'm going to pick who I'm going to partner with now, you know? So even that mindset shift has been like, it's a new thing for me that we're testing out in our organization. But I would say that if it's around founder, you have to have this mindset that you're all in. Like, that's how you're going to move things, is that you're all in, you're going to support them. Is it frustrating when people don't do what they say they're going to do? Absolutely. That's frustrating. We're launching this month, September, in our organization, a Founders Club, which was actually something that Susan Johnson, the last founder before our 2 Hawaii founders, said that she did. And I love it, because now all of a sudden, now in order to be in our Founders Club, let me just pull it up real fast. You have to get 50 founders points a month, 10 enrollments, weekly attendance to our founder mastermind, which is all of us workshopping together how to move things, attend convention, and attend our weekly meetings. And that's to be in our club. And then what you get for being in the club and meeting all your requirements is a $250 monthly bonus, a $250 in doTERRA products, a founder mastermind support from the entire group, and a one-on-one strategy session monthly. And then we have 3 grand prizes. The person that gets the most points gets a $1,000 bonus. The person that gets the second highest points gets $500, and the person with the most enrollments gets 500. So I'm learning how to really like, in the beginning, I just incentivized everything, and I'm learning how to be more specific on my incentives and making them related to actual tasks. And the truth of the matter is people want to succeed, right? They just don't always have the capacity to. So I'm a big on education in like mindset and shifting mindset. But to me, once we craft a master plan, like there's no excuses. Like you're either showing up and doing the work or you're not. And it doesn't mean that you're going to hit your goal every month. Some months you might knock your goal out of the park. Some months you might fall short, but it means that there's action every single day moving your business forward. And the people that are the most successful in this business are the ones that have the most action, right? I mean, it is what it is.
Thanks, Malia. That's so awesome. Okay, so let's go back to this. What is your pitch for founders? Can you share it with us?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I said most of it on the call with you already, but I talk about my legacy, about my vision, right? I'm like, I have a vision. I've had a ton of people ask me, because I'm in the business, like I'm on the KISS trustee selection committee, and people are like, what are you doing this MLM thing for? And I'm like, because I'm building a badass community, I'm making joke money, and I'm having so much freaking fun. And, you know, so my pitch is super simple. I talk about my legacy. I mean, I'm really passionate about that. You guys saw me start getting teary-eyed, that I want my kids and my grandkids to live here. I want them to be in our community, come from our community, and the cost of living in Hawaii is ridiculous. So I have found a way in which to create a legacy for my family and to create a sustainable retirement for myself. Are you interested in it? And almost everybody is going to say yes, because people are struggling. People are struggling. So some people, you know, pitch first with the products and the oils, and that's awesome. That's not me. I have no idea. I learned so much just on your call. Like the toothpaste, I got it down. The breathe, I got it down. But everything else, I'm still putting it all together. So I always am I'm always forward about the business opportunity and the income opportunity. Or another good one. So you just need something catchy at the front that resonates with you. Like, so for me, it's legacy, and my kids and grandkids want to be. So you always want to start there, so people know that you're talking from your heart. You really mean what you're saying. People can sniff out fake things, you know. They want to talk to you when you're talking to them. Another one that I open with is, you know, 5 million women have left the workforce through COVID, which is the truth. 5 million women. And you can say, including because I know all of you know people, my daughter, my mother, and people are looking for a way to create income at home. And I have found a way to do that. So I always start off with that, something catchy that, you know, that they can relate to. You want people to be able to relate to you. They want them to be like, oh yes, I get it. And then after that, I said, hey, doTERRA has a Founder 2.0 opportunity. I'm super direct, you guys. I don't have time. Like doTERRA has a Founder 2.0 opportunity. And then they're like, what's doTERRA? What's that, right? And all you're doing is giving them enough information so that they want to know more, so that you can continue to have a conversation. It takes 8 touch points before you make a sales. That's just in regular world. Normally 8 touch points, right? Advertisers know this, they have it down. You're going to see the product 8 times, right? In advertising before you're like, oh, I think I need that in my house. How come I'm the only one that I don't have that in my house, right? So start off with your why, and then follow up with the opportunity. doTERRA has this incredible Founder 2.0 opportunity. And then you're going to get questions about that. And then keep it simple, right? This is where we go wrong. We start like explaining all these things and the 100 oils, and people are like, I mean, if you go on with oils and they're like, oh, I don't really use oils, then you don't really have anywhere to go after that, right? So the third thing that I do in my pitch is I let them talk. Like they do most of the talking while I'm pitching. What is going on in your health and wealth right now in your life? And then all of a sudden, you know, who had COVID, the vaccination, all these things going on with them. And then in that space, right, you're listening, you're active listening to them. You're going to find a couple of spaces where you could naturally plug into that. Like, oh, I have the perfect product for that. My son has asthma too. Have you ever tried Breathe? Let me get you that sample. right? If they don't talk about that kind of stuff, they're like, oh, I don't have any money. I'm trying to make money. What if I can teach you how to make $250 in the next 2 months? Would that be interesting for you? Then I go on the money thing, but they usually give you so much, right? They just want you to hear them. And I think that, you know, now that I am a founder, it's changed. So absolutely bastardize whatever you should be telling people there's 3 founders from Hawaii. You should be telling them there's 3 founders from Hawaii. I'm going to be the next. And do you want to join me on this journey? Because it's a real thing. Like, you know, we have to lift up this community. That's our kuleana responsibility. So my pitch is super easy. 4 things, right? Something compelling that's relevant to them. The actual content of what you're calling them to talk about. And then 3, listening to them, right? On checking in on their health and wealth. And then 4, you know, you have to figure out what the play is. Is it business? Is it whatever it might be?
Jai was very nervous. So you and your family and how you guys are building this business together is so cool. And one of our most beloved families in our community is Maile and Jai, a mom and son team. And so he was so nervous. He was like, I want to be done with the product ed before Malia comes on. But look, you taught her something about oral health care. So,
and I'm a fan. I watch the TikToks. I'm not under a rock. I see them. I'm like, yeah, I see them. We have a whole Gen Z program we're starting in our organization. So we have about 15 youth that want to learn about entrepreneurship that are just in like a club. And they're doing things like making samples, creating TikToks, content development, all kinds of stuff. But what they're actually learning is about the business, right? And so they're building alongside their parents, and it's incredible, right? And you guys have so much to learn. So my daughter did a talk on Gen Z for our organization, and it was mind-blowing for everybody. So I hope, Jai, that you do that too, and just educate us on how stupid we really are, us old people.
I called him a millennial earlier. That's how stupid I am. Yeah, he's not even in that generation.
Yeah. He's like, that was right after you.
Like, Auntie Liza, what are you talking about? I'm not even. Okay, I want to it's so good. I feel like if you guys have any more questions, I want to go back. Cami put in the question here, the how. And I want to highlight the 2, I mean, besides all of the things that you did share, the 2 specific, like on the ground how things that I heard. And if you have anything else to add where, you know, you literally cannot be afraid to talk to anyone about this opportunity. And I know I am just as guilty of the next, of like having all of those like people that I just skip over, you know, my chicken list people that I just skip over. So that was one thing. And I think that we don't take into account how many people we all have like that those are missed opportunities. I go to my chiropractor like once a week, and they're using crappy oils and crappy lotion. And every time I'm like, I gotta talk to them. And I still have yet to work up the nerve to do it. 2, the other thing I heard you saying was you have to be creative and be willing to put yourself out there, like how Lavena literally went and knocked on how many doors in her entire community. And so this is not, before you share if you have any others, this is not I'm just gonna sit back and do my power hour a day and be a founder. No. Right? Yeah. No. Any other specific strategies that you have to share?
Let me think. Absolutely leverage every doTERRA marketing opportunity, right? I mean, like the $50 this month, right? doTERRA bucks, like every time doTERRA has a BOGO or whatever it might be, you need to take that and you need to double down on your investment of time and energy around that. Those will be the months that you rank the easiest. I would say, you know, Liza mentioned it earlier, but I put every dollar that I made back into my business. I'm still doing that. I had the opportunity to go Blue Diamond last month, but I decided that I wanted 3 more silvers with me at convention, and that was more important. So shift my strategy and reinvested into their organization. So invest. If you had to work your butt off for a year and invest everything you had for a year, so what? Come on, get with it. Like, you're talking about financial freedom for the rest of your life. Like, suck it up, buttercup. Like, let's get to work. Like, surround yourself with people that want to take action. I love that there's a mother-son team. Get a team of Julia people. They don't have to even be in your organization, and move. Call banking, right? Liza mentioned calling. If calling makes you nervous, get 5 friends and do call banking. This is how campaigns win elections. They get 100 people in a room for 5 hours a day, and they make calls. And those are the irritating calls that you hang up on. But call banking, right? Like, you can sit, I have a builder that doesn't want to do calls. So we sit 5 of us together on Zoom, on mute, and we call bank, and we're call banking, and we're updating our status in the chat. Like, oh, this one was horrible. This one went well. Oh, this one's coming to class. I got this one in wellness week, right? There's always something you can do. So always think about pivoting, right? What else? Tactical. Engage your entire family. Like, your entire family. Don't be afraid to tell people what you're trying to accomplish for yourself and your family. Like, I feel like sometimes people are like shame, like, oh, I don't want to, like, and I'm like, tell them I'm going for founder. Like, this is going to change my family's life. Can you commit for 3 months to be on a wellness journey with me and get the 3 months off the bat? So not just the kit, right? The enrollment, but get them to commit to 3 months, the enrollment and your 2 LRPs, so that you have those 3 points all in one commitment. And when you're enrolling them, you set up their LRP and you just get it done. Yeah, I don't know. There's so much more, but.
That's great. The call banking, I think we have a monthly community calendar. We've taken a month or 2 off, but I almost feel like putting that on the community calendar for an hour once a month at least, or twice a month. And whoever wants to show up to call bank, I mean, just to keep myself accountable. I love that. And I do not call. And I know that we all default to texting. And
so Jai will tell you that it's rude to call. That's what we learned in our Gen Z thing, is that it's actually rude to call, because if you text, people are allowed to text you back when it's an appropriate and reasonable time for them. Whereas if you call, you're assuming that at that time that you called them is the best time for them. So I learned in our Gen Z education that actually texting is more appropriate. So I guess it just depends who.
And I said in the comments, please don't call him. Mom, when my mom asked the question, when you say invest into your downline organization, what does that look like? I'm going to let you answer, but I would love to just say it looks like helping your builders with incentives. Like, if you're making more money than other people and people are showing up for the work and they're going for the goals, then investing back in them with like cashback offers, oils, incentives, things like that. Do you have anything else specifically that you do outside of that?
Yeah, time, treasure, talent, right? It's investing your time, treasure, and talent into them. So leveraging every opportunity. Sometimes I get donations, we do giveaways. I connect people to people that I think might be better served in their organization, right? So when you get out of this mindset of like, oh, I have to like do it all, and then like it's like a pyramid. It's not a pyramid. It's like a lo'i. It's like we're all these like huli, and we're gonna cut the huli, put the kalo in the community, and plant the huli again, right? So sometimes it's planting for them too. Like sometimes you need to plant gems in their organization that you think would fit best. So, I mean, I think about it very holistically, like you mentioned, Liza, but money too. Like people in this business, because there's so little to actually start it, are really uncomfortable about putting money down. And you got to put money down. That's just any business, every business. And it doesn't have to be all your money. The other thing is if you have like placeholders in your organization, I mean, I don't know if you guys have that, but because we build fast, I recommend that we start off with placeholders in our organization. So I don't know if you guys have learned accounts receivable. You guys use that tool? So accounts receivable means instead of them getting a check with their commissions, doTERRA will hold it in their account. That's just for them. And then their products can come straight out of that account every month. So that there's not this, it's like mind blowing. Once I learned about accounts receivable, I'm like, accounts receivable, everybody's on accounts receivable. Nobody gets a check until, everybody gets their LRP in first. And then, so it's just little things like that, tweaking, and your structure is super important. So if your structure is messy, fix your structure. Like that'll save you time over time. It's a process. So, for Leo, it was like, hey, 2 people a month. We're going to move them and get them in the right exact place that serves them correctly and serves you correctly. But yeah.
I will get more clarification from my account manager about accounts receivable, and I will share that with the community. That was definitely a mind-blowing tip though. Like people are like, what? Because yeah, anyway.
I know why. You don't have to explain it.
I want to say though, that is definitely one of the strengths of our team is structure. We have a lot of silvers. Like our goal is silver and 1,500, because prior to the founders opportunity, $1,500 is the biggest amount of money you're going to make off the bat. And so really helping people to focus on getting to that, even over rank. I much rather a leader hit 1,500 than hit silver, you know.
For sure.
$150 bonus versus 15. So that's definitely something that is a strength in our community. Yeah. Malia, I cannot thank you enough. If there's anything that I can ever do to support you in this journey, but I'm just so grateful to have you as a friend. And honestly, I feel like everything that your community has done has helped to open the eyes of, I mean, everyone out there in doTERRA land, but especially those of us here in Hawaii who share a unique set of challenges and needs, but also get to live in this amazing community and space that it doesn't exist anywhere else. So thank you for bringing spending your time with us, sharing with us all of your treasures and your talent. It has been such an incredible night, I'm sure, for everyone, and I'm really just so grateful. So thank you. I can't wait to celebrate you at convention, walking diamond, walking founders, all the things.
It's my first team's whole my team. It's all our first. It's our first.
I love it. And I just talked to Maile, and we are going to get together with your guys' hui for the team party night on Friday. To be there so that we can continue to build our strong Hawaii connections. Because what I love about you showing up here in this space is that you definitely share the same mindset as I do, that there is more than enough to go around. There is no scarcity. There is nothing but abundance, but we have to go out there. We have to create that abundance. We have to live in it. We have to thrive in it. We have to manifest it. And I love that whole thing you talked about confusing the universe. That was really powerful. So I did record this, you guys. I'm going to personally rewatch the entire thing because I didn't take notes this time, but I encourage you to do the same. Thank you. Any final words, Malia, before?
Just that tomorrow at 1, Lavena is going to be doing a live.
Oh, yes.
Yep. And talking about her journey. And then Friday at 12, Leonani is going to be talking about her founder journey. So if you guys can jump in those, it's great to hear other perspectives as well, because everybody did it different. And yeah, Hawaii needs to take up more of the market share. I strongly believe that. And we're going to get more attention and more resources. We already are, and we're pushing for more resources to come our way because we're the future.
Follow Malia on Instagram, Make Magic Malia. And she did just do an Instagram live video today about the Founders Club 2.0, and then her 2 qualifiers that just achieved that as well. Kanani and I were so fortunate to connect with Leo. It was kind of like one of the highlights of Diamond Retreat for me, actually, to connect with her. I mean, you of course, but like meeting her for the first time and seeing her people. So go check them out because we can all learn and thrive together. So thank you, Malia. Really appreciate it.
Guys, have a great evening.
Have a good night. Oh, wait. We gotta take a picture. Oh no, she logged off. Darn it. I'm gonna text her real quick. Shucks. Wait, don't log off. Can come back real. Oh, she can't. I didn't even have to text her. She must have heard it. If you can, turn on your cameras, please. I really appreciate it. Malia, thanks for coming back. You heard me go, oh, wait, and then you came back.
I already pushed it.
Awesome. All right, let's take a team pic, everybody. Malia, can you turn on your camera for me? Because I gotta be able to see.
I did.
There you go. Okay, awesome. All right. Smile. As always, you guys, thank you for showing up for yourselves, for your businesses, for your learning, for your connection, for your growth, for your community. We are so, so grateful for you. And as I began this call tonight, I talked about having more empathy and love. Let's continue to bring light and hope and healing into the world and lead with love and empathy. I love all of you. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, Malia, for joining us. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, Malia.
Night.
Yeah.
Night. Go.